Hi, today we're going to make a tetrahedral kite. So this is a kite you can make with straws and strawberries very easily, which makes it very flexible. For example, you can actually fold it up like this. So you can check out the history behind this. It's actually when the Wright brothers were looking into flying. At the same time, Alexander Graham Bell was experimenting with personal flight too, and this is one of his designs. They had a huge version of it. So what we need is 4 tetrahedrons, and to make tetrahedrons we use Strawbees, the 3s, and you need 16 3s if you want to make it with only 3s. So when you build a kite, you need straws and 4 times 6 straws is in one of these kites. You also need some lightweight plastic. I'm using waste plastic, like plastic bags for your trash. You can find really thin plastic like this in any kind of convenience store. You can recognize the kind of plastic. It's very thin, which makes it fly really nicely like that. So this is what you're looking for, because having lightweight is really good. And you also need either glue, wood glue, or tape, or double-sided tape, which is the one I'm going to choose. You also need a pair of scissors, as usual. So let's start. And when we build the tetrahedron, one of the best ways of building it is to take your 3s and fold the legs like this. So they're pre-folded, so it's easier to put them together in a symmetrical way. So I've already folded a couple here. So we need 4 corners for our first tetrahedron. And then try to think how many straws we need. I take these straws and I squeeze them on. And it's important when you put these together that you make sure they align so they're flat. So the flat pieces of the straw and the connector is in the same plane like that. The tetrahedron, by the way, is one of the platonic solids. It's the simplest shape that has the same face in all directions. And that makes up the volume, the space. So the tetrahedron is really interesting. You can feel that it's pretty strong, and that's why we use it. It's strong and lightweight. It's perfect to have in a kite. So here's my first tetrahedron. Now, as you can see, this is going to be a little bit bigger kite. Now I'm going to make 4 of these. When you have your tetra, I folded out a piece of this bag. And then I do this little trick. That is the last thing I came up with. So I want it to be approximately this much outside of that one. And then I put one of these in the middle. And I fold this over. So I get a center fold of this. And then I align these pieces. I can see that it still covers that part that's under there. And when I have this, I can actually, if you can use a razor blade like this, either you can take a pen or something, or you can use your blade. Today I'm going to use my blade. A little bit offset, it's not really important exactly how much, as long as you do the same with all your pieces. And then here. There we are. And then I have a little bit left here, corners. So once you've done these, you can make 4 of these if you want to, or you do this. do a little bit of glue on here. Looks okay on both sides. So now I can actually do this. So it's time to connect these once we got all of them covered. So I'm going to remove the ones I used to secure the plastic. So to connect these we need 1, 2, 3 for the bottom. So let's start connecting them. The first trick to do this is to take your single strawberry and put it from the inside of one of these and out all the way like this. And this can be actually a little bit tricky later. Turn it so it stands on the top like this. Then it's easier, or like the strawberries plane is along this edge here. Then this is the tricky part. Hold it all the way in and try to get this through into the next one. So it actually worked pretty well. Then I do the same from this end. From the inside, squeeze it all the way through, so otherwise you can use string or anything to tie these together. You can see they're still very loosely attached to each other. Take another strawberry, so this doesn't matter which end you take it from. Or maybe I should get this better balanced, so I'll use a double strawberry. Now we invented something during the workshop that I haven't done before. So the other two are faced downwards, like that, and because this is going to be the middle plane, I need to have these very nicely balanced. So I'm going to take a double and squeeze it through all the way, and then squeeze it through all the way on this end. This gives it better balance. I never know, I don't know if it's going to be better, but this is the first time I'm doing it, so let's do this together. And then I take strawberries, put them like this. Oh, forgot to cut this off before. But get help from if you have problems with this. So now, see, I only stuck them up so they open up precisely. This is because this way it's much easier to click them on top of each other. So hold on both sides of the hole and squeeze them together. And when you've done that, you get that little end and pull it up. And there we have it. Once all these are on top of each other, it's locked. Now you have your first Sierpinski fractal, if you haven't done it before. And because of this little thing, I think it's actually better balanced than anyone I've done before. You can just try to fall straight, and it actually falls really nice. This is going to be a great kite. Now we're going to attach string. So there's a couple of different ways to do this, and you can either attach it directly at about 1/4 of the distance here. So can you figure out a good way of measuring 1/4 distance? Or you can take a string that's approximately 3 times the length of this one. I fold it over like this to measure. So this is approximately 3 times. And then there's a really nice trick with Strawbees to connect a string. I'm going to show you now. So you make it into you fold it double a little bit like that. And then you take it over and around the strawberry. Then you pull it and then you get a knot. Now you want as little as possible of this excess string there. So something like that is okay. And then we tie a safety knot here, an extra one. So it doesn't slip. This string is actually bad, I just didn't get a hold of better string. I put it through like this. Same thing. Attach them to the kite. One there and one here. And then we want this kite to fly something like this. So we want our kite string to be attached somewhere here. And then we can use the same trick, or maybe a little bit more like this. This might be good. But this is actually a good experiment. We can actually go out and try what works best. So I'll attach another strawberry at this point where I wanted it to be. So then I can use the same trick I showed you before. So I'll take it through and on top like that. This is a perfect way to connect. I'm actually going to make this into a ring. I should have used just one of the rings. So now, because I have a lot of these, I'll just modify them to one of those brushes. So that's a perfect little connector for your kite string, if you have one of these. Or if you just have string, you can just tie it to this place. So there we are. Done. Tetrahedral kite. Let's go try it out.